And we're back.
You were we were talking about how it's kind of a weird line being between offensive and non-offensive,
Yeah.
or where it's okay to be offensive, or it's kind of a weird line because there's like I'm a very non-PC person. I really am not politically correct, but but I think there's a line you don't. I think there's a few lines you don't cross.
Yeah.
I think a good comedian knows how to go up to those lines without actually crossing them.
Well, I think what also makes a good comedian is you know your audience. You know what they're gonna like.
Certain comedians know how to appeal to certain crowds. Like as moronic as it is, Jeff Dunham knows his crowds.
Yeah.
He knows it's a bunch of people who are probably going to laugh at damn near anything. Larry the Cable Guy knows his audience.
Yeah.
Hell, even
Jeff Fox.
Jeff Foxworthy knows his audience.
What was it? What was their whole little thing? It was on Comedy Central.
Blue collar
Yeah,
comedy?
blue collar. Was it blue collar comedy or TV?
They had the blue collar specials, and then they had the TV show,
Yeah.
which was just basically a poor man's Mad TV, which was a poor man's Saturday Night Live.
Pretty much.
I think I should mention I am not a Mad fan. I've never could get into Mad. I read the magazine. I hated the show.
Yeah. Well, Mad is one of the prime examples, which goes to show that it's reference humor.
No, it's not always reference humor. There is a little bit more value to some of the stuff, like Spy vs. Spy is completely reference free,
Yeah, that's true.
and it's hilarious. Are they still doing Spy vs. Spy?
I haven't seen anything for Mad. I think they're off air. I haven't
I'm
seen
talking about like in comic form.
in comic form. I think probably they probably are.
Next.
We could just talk about what's it called? More reference humor. The bad side of humor.
Okay.
So we'll start off with like I said, from reference humor. Kind of like how.
Let me restart the thing. Okay, go.
Okay. It's pretty much basically. It feels like it's internet humor, pretty much, where it's dry.
Well, see, you say internet humor. When I think internet humor, I think it's just some moron screaming.
Yeah, but there's also stuff that you can see that's really influenced by Mad, or stuff like that, or even Family Guy. There's a dime a dozen people trying to be just like that.
Yeah, I've actually gone through a lot of stuff on YouTube trying to. Because I was thinking, because a lot of comedy now seems to be online.
Yeah.
I mean, there is generally good comedy online. Go to the Nostalgia Critic. Go, depending on your taste in comedy, maybe you can go to James Roth, the Angry Video Game Nerd. Then you have other shows like, well, not shows, but you have other people like Team 4 Star. Some other videos like How It Should Have Ended and stuff like that. These are like legitimately funny shows. Then you have, and I was not aware of half these people. Some guy, and I've noticed all the assholes on YouTube, all the ones trying to be funny by just screaming, they all have that same stupid haircut. I don't know what it's called, but it's that stupid Justin Bieber haircut.
It's not a bob.
It's not a bowl top. It's kind of like a bowl top mixed with a emo fringe.
Like where it cuts down, like kind of like this.
Yeah, but it's more even. It's not like an emo fringe. It's
Yeah.
more like a combination.
Well, I mean, I think what caused a lot of people to do this is, oh God, Fred was what really started this whole known trend.
See, I try to look into it. Apparently, he has a show on Nickelodeon.
Yes, he does. Yeah, the movie.
Which I guess say good for him that he managed to do something stupid on YouTube and get famous.
And look at Annoying
legit
Orange.
famous.
Annoying Orange that got on Cartoon Network.
I find that sad because the coolest thing I've seen of like the Nostalgia Critic has appeared on television once.
Really?
It was for a promo for the history of comedy on PBS.
Oh.
And it was just him doing impersonations of comedians. There's a whole funny little video of him going there, getting ready for it and all that. But yeah, it's just spawned from one of his early videos he did, where it's just him doing a bunch of celebrity voices. Yeah, on the internet, it's varies. If you dig deep enough, you'll find legitimately funny things.
Yeah, there's only like, but the thing is, it's a handful, and there's a lot of digging you have to go through, especially like with this recommendation shit.
Well, I never pay attention to recommendations, but the few of the people I came across, and again, they all do the same shit. That Fred guy, Smosh, I think is his name.
No, that's their channel.
Oh, okay, but that, I don't know, is it the same guy as Fred or?
No. Smosh is the two weirdo. I don't even know their names. Weird people.
But I noticed every thumbnail just has them smiling like douchebags. It's just, I don't even want to watch it. And I've watched a few of his videos. It's, oh god, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just horrid.
You can just feel your brain cells slowly dying one by one.
Yeah, I could only handle like 2 videos and that was it. And I'm serious, I only could stand 2 of his videos and I couldn't go any further.
And this is what YouTube promotes, and you know.
Then there's this other guy, I don't mean to cut you off, but there's this other guy, PewDiePie or something?
Yeah, just
Is
basically, it's just Fred. That's all I see him as.
Except he does
Games.
playthroughs.
That's it. He's just another Fred.
I mean, I don't know. I think playthrough, I have to watch Video Games Awesome because I think that is one of the best playthrough shows there is on YouTube, if not the internet. They're just so funny, and it's all improv. It's all spontaneous stuff because the show is just basically 4 dudes sitting on the couch playing video games, and it's just stuff that comes naturally to them. They're just naturally funny people. They used to do a skit show called, it's not really a skit show, but they used to do a show called Awesome Video Games. It was basically a parody of shows like, I think it was called The Power Hour or something. No. Video Power, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a parody of shows like Video Power, which was, that was basically the show you watched to learn anything about video games back in the 90s. It's basically a how to play show, but it's played up for laughs. That's the whole joke. That it's like they use outdated slang, like from the. I think the show is supposed to take place in 1991, so that explains all the outdated references, the outdated lingo and all that. Like they say like radical a lot. It's kind of like watching Bill and Ted.
Okay.
But their regular show they do now, Video Games Awesome. I'm a big fan of their show, even though the host is a bit of an asshole. But that's kind of his charm, is he's an asshole. I mean, there's points where he's just a plain asshole, but his fans love him. I mean, they can tell when he's joking. I mean, he's never gotten like. He's never got like. I've seen some people get downright abusive to their fans. And that's usually guys. It's usually the people who are like, "Oh, if you don't like my stuff, don't watch it." It's just
they're annoying. You were like, me.
You don't like it, leave. It's just,
It's like, I can nitpick your shit, dipshit. I can say, hey, I'm gonna express my opinion. I have the ability to do it. And I'm gonna say it. If you don't like it, you don't have to read my comment, bitch. Listen to your own goddamn fucking logic.
And that's basically every internet forum.
Pretty much, they fail to listen to their own godforsaken logic.
No, logic does not apply to comments. To the comment boards of any video, logic does not matter. Trust me, I've dealt with wrestling fans on the internet. They are probably the worst pack of people on the internet when it comes to trolls, when it comes to just idiots, idiots thinking they can just say anything they want because hey, it's the computer. I can insult people. I can threaten people and no consequences. It's liquid booze.
Pretty much.
Or not booze.
Oh.
That's liquid. No, that's liquid courage.
Yeah.
It's basically liquid courage. Twitter balls. That's what I've been calling it. It's like people will say just horrible things on Twitter because in real life they wouldn't have the balls to say half this stuff to someone's face.
Oh, there are some people. I've my brother on the channel. He went to a big PTQ for Magic, and he got called a wetback in front of hundreds of people, and everyone can hear it. But I mean, the guy stormed out though. I mean, he wasn't going to sit there and take any shit from anyone. He just, I mean, there are crazy people who will say it to your face, and to people like that, I'm just like, well, fuck you, you're crazy.
By the way, I came across people who actually hear like at Heart of the Cards. I've came across people here who one guy was trying to figure out what your nationality was. Like he was thought you were like Asian or something. I don't know why he had to figure it out. Some people they're weird that way. At least me, there's no confusing me. I'm about as white as the moon.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of that, you're kind of doing a terrible job of host. You're supposed to move to subject to subject.
Well, I'm sitting there trying to think of what we're going to do. I mean, we could talk about, the racial, seeing how we were talking about race, we can talk about.
Yeah, that's what I was about to go into.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to.
I'm perfectly fine. There's no
right.
problem. So we're talking about like all the bad side, and racial humor. Really speaking about the bad side is
racial comedy racial comedy is very limited. You tend to hear the same jokes over and over again.
You hear the same shit. It never gets new. It's never fresh. Oh, the black person eats watermelon. He eats fried chicken. He can't swim. You hear that same shit.
Then there's like George Lopez. One point, I like George Lopez, but at some point, he just gets obnoxious with the whole, white people. They're like, I can't even really think of it, but he would talk about how white people are all like, they don't know what weenies are. They call them Franks, and it's like they have like the minivans and stuff. And it's like he was talking about how you know what we used to have. We used to poke weenies with a fork and cook it on the stove. And I'm like, is that even a Hispanic thing? Because I've done that.
No, I don't think it is.
And I'm like I said, I'm about as white as white kids.
Yeah, it's just. It sounds like it's just trying to get new material, but racial jokes are just. I think they're
repetitive.
Dead. They're dead.
I don't think they're dead, but they're by nature they're repetitive.
Yeah, I've never heard of a refreshing racial joke. Like maybe once a blue moon.
You probably the best comedian when it comes to that kind of stuff is probably what's his face Dave Chappelle.
Yes, Dave Chappelle. Well, I mean, he was during. Let's see, how long has it been for old Dave?
Yeah. His whole career or that show?
I think it was the show when he was starting to get more and more like renowned.
Because I think he started in the 90s.
Yeah, he started in the 90s doing like stand-ups and stuff. But I'm talking about like when he started getting like really big, which was.
It would have been like 2003, I would think.
That's been a good while.
So almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He still does stand-up, but I hadn't really seen anything from him since the Dave Chappelle show was canceled.
Yeah.
But I love the format of that show so much. I love he is much better as a skit writer, as
Definitely.
a comedic, doing comedic skits.
I mean, also the thing with Dave Chappelle, he wasn't always about racial jokes.
No, he had ones that were just generally funny. The whole Prince thing was generally funny, and there's a tiny bit of a race thing in there, but it's for the most part We're going over time, but I want to finish this point. Um, the Prince stuff, which is probably one of my favorite things on there. No, it's not Rick James. That's not my favorite. But this is out there though. The Prince segment. I just love that, like the deep voice he gave Prince. Because if you ever listen to Prince talk, he kind of has kind of an effeminate voice.
Well, that's the thing. He goes off, your expectation. You're expecting him to be like, oh, no.
It's all soft spoken and stuff. You expect stuff out of like Purple Rain.
Let's play some people.
It's just,
And them playing basketball.
it's like it's the, yeah, just.
It goes off your expectation.
Yeah, you have like I just remember the line. It's like it's the shirt versus the blouses, and then they just get destroyed by Prince. What does he call it? Prince in the Revolution or something? Which I think was the name of an album. I think.
Fuck. Oh God, I can't recall. Oh, it was such a good skit too.
Isn't there like a second where he's humping the basketball? Because that's basically what he would do on stage. He basically would hump the stage.
Yeah, I think. Can't recall. Damn. It's been far too long.
And no, I'm not that much of a Prince fan, but I thought this was hysterical. I actually think it's funnier if you don't like Prince, but of course we can't avoid it. We have to talk about the Rick James skit, which is funny. A lot of people think, oh, that's just a funny story. That actually happened. Not to that degree. Not
okay, it was just over exaggerated.
Extremely over exaggerated, but there was something between Charlie Murphy and Rick James. Okay, the Studio 54 one was real because Rick James has actually talked about how he got drunk and punched Charlie Murphy in the face. But the stories kind of mixed together, and they kind of it's not told exactly how Rick James has said over the years, but keep in mind it's Rick fucking James.
Yeah.
How much is he gonna remember?
Shit.
I mean, this is the guy who did Super Freak. The guy was on coke 24/7. So who knows if he remembers half the shit right? For all he knows, it could have played out exactly like the Dave Chappelle skit.
Pretty much.
But this is one of the funniest skits, and probably one of the most well-known skits, because even people who don't know who Dave Chappelle is, they know this skit.
Well, I think the biggest was the Clayton Bigsby.
Do what?
The Clayton Bigsby.
Oh.
The white supremacist.
Oh God, I forgot the name, but one of my other favorites. We'll get to the Rick James one in a minute, but one of my other favorite segments from the Dave Chappelle show was. Is it the Dave Chappelle show or just Chappelle show?
Chappelle show, because I remember the two guys were like, Chappelle show. Chappelle show. Yeah.
Just,
let's start the show.
Okay.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Okay, you can stop. Anyway, one of my favorite segments, the white supremacist one, is hilarious.
Oh, come on. That was such a ballsy move.
It's just...
Come on. That could have flopped his career if people were that offended by that.
Yeah, but luckily... Well, the idea... He's playing with the whole idea that, well, if a black person says it, it's okay.
Yeah.
He's playing with that whole perception, which is complete bullshit, and he's fully aware of it. I'm trying to remember the other skit. The homeless guy. That's what I'm thinking of. When he's just the coked up homeless guy.
Give me a second to remember his name.
God, it was something really funny. It's just that high pitched voice he did. He's like,
give me a second. Fuck. God, it's at the tip of my tongue.
It's like, I like cocaine. And it's just I fucking died every time I saw that skit.
Oh shit. God damn it.
You can't remember, can you? Want me to pull it up on Wikipedia?
Was it Tyrone?
Something like that. I can pull it on Wikipedia. Excuse us, we'll download it up. Oh my god. Are you actually looking it up?
I remember the theme song. It has his name in it. The name's Tyrone. And I always remember the stupid fucking Hershey and people thought it was shit.
Wait, what? Did people really think it was?
Yeah.
It was
Oh, we don't
a
have.
Hershey bar.
We don't have. Yeah, it was just a melted fucking Hershey bar.
But
You tell anyone, I kill you. Fucking remember that kid just punches the little white kid, takes the money and runs.
what? Although it does kind of remind me of something, and I'm not going to go too deep into this. I promise we'll get to the Rick James thing. But him being on coke and all that, you want to know what that reminds me of?
What?
If you ever watched the show Metalocalypse on Cartoon Network,
I watched like I think
Adult Swim.
like two to three episodes.
I think the show is hilarious just because of these characters. But one of my favorite characters that just had me rolling on the floor laughing was Dr. Roxo, the rock and roll clown. He does cocaine. God, does he do cocaine. That's his whole stick, by the way. It's like, I want to do his voice, but I'm not sure if I can get my voice that high pitched. He's like, I'm Dr. Roxo, I'm the rock and roll clown. I do cocaine. I couldn't do the voice, but that's as close as I'm going to get. It's fucking hilarious. Just look it up.
Alright.
He's like, seriously, dude, a lot of cocaine. But anyway, that's what it reminds me of. Also, I have to do this now that I'm thinking about Metalocalypse. Gotta do there's an explosion. Brutal. It's basically the Batman voice, that's all it is.
Pretty much. I think that's where we'll cut out.
Alright, we'll be right back.